Hey, this is Dustin. I'm going to show you how to change your oil on a 98 Dodge Ram 5.9 liter four-wheel drive. This is my truck. Alright. First you need to lift it up because the drain plug is in the front. So I'm going to use these stands here. That's 2,000 pounds per side, so I think my truck's a little heavier than 2,000 per side. So slide them there. Slide the other one there. And I'll be back when it's up on top. Okay, I'm back. They're on top, as you can see. The reason I did that, I'll show you right quick. The drain plug is way up there in the front. So when you let all your oil out, you get all of it out instead of it being on a flat surface. And draining back all the bad oil, so you have all fresh new oil. A lot of videos I've seen, they don't tell you to take the oil cap off, and I have always been taught differently. And I'm going to start going to mechanic school, so if you want to, you can. If you don't, then you don't have to. But when you take that oil cap off and you undo that drain plug, the oil flows a lot faster. So it's up to you. If you don't want to, then don't do it. I do. So then I also raise my dipstick up just for the same reason. When you got that plug and you got that seal, there's no air that can flow through there to make it flow faster. So I just lift it up a little bit like that, just so I can get that O-ring out of there. Alrighty. As you've already seen, I use the jack stands. I'm just going to show you the tools that I use, and the products that I use. So here they are. I use a 5/8 socket set with an extender and a 5/8 deep socket. Depending on your model and your type and all that, it might be different. Always gloves are nice. I like these funnels because they're sweet. They got a big neck opening on them. So then an oil drain pan. Then I always go with like a Wix filter because they're the best. I used to work for O'Reilly's, so yay O'Reilly's. Castrol, I've always been a fan of Castrol oil. If you're not, I'm sorry. But I am. 10W30 high mileage because it does have over 75,000 miles on it. So, alrighty. Alright, just so y'all know, I know I've said a lot of uhs and does and loves and whats and yeah. This is my first video, so I should have more to come, and they'll be getting better. So here I am about to go underneath the truck and loosen the drain plug. I've never done this like on camera before, so I'm just going to set the camera down and hopefully it turns out okay. But another note, if you're lifting your truck up like I have it right here, I would suggest putting chucks, whatever they're called, underneath the front wheels, but I'm not rich, so I don't have any. So, and it's in park, so it shouldn't go nowhere. But if it was on, I would say definitely if it was on like a jack, I would chuck it and maybe put some jack stands under it. But ramps, I don't think they're going to go anywhere. So if they do, I'm going to be in the middle of the truck on the side, like right here. I wouldn't suggest being up there in the front, just in case it did, then it might run you over. And and such and such. But here we go. Hopefully you can see that bolt. As you can see, I'm not using any gloves right now, but I will whenever the drain plug becomes oily. I tightened it on there last time, so I'm good and strong and tough. So, here comes the bolt. Make sure your pan is underneath the bolt, so when it starts flowing out, it don't go everywhere. And here we go. That right there is why you wear gloves, otherwise that would be all over my hands. You just kind of let it flow as it's doing there, and this takes some time, maybe 5 minutes, depending on how much oil your truck takes. Mine takes 5 quarts plus the oil filter, so right now is a good time to show you where the oil filter's at. I'm not going to take it off right now because the pan is being used and oil will come out of the oil filter. So right there's the oil filter. I used to like Fram. Well, I was a big Wix fan, but they're like $3 more than these Frams. But Fram doesn't have a good reputation in my opinion. Because if the motor ever gets hot or that filter gets hot, it starts melting. And I've had chunks of that black. That's why I like it, because it has that black tightener on it and you can get it real snug and fit on there. But I've had big chunks of black fall off of that, and you could see where it had gotten like really hot, and I just don't like them. I've always had a lot better luck with Wix, so I'm gonna stay with Wix. If you can't afford the Wix, then you know that's Fram. And I would also go with the high mileage. This isn't a high mileage. This is just a cheapo Fram, like $3 or $4. So whatever you can afford, and I mean they all do the same thing. So, but as you can see, the oil, it's kind of just running down. I mean, it's just barely trickling down now. That's still not good enough for me. I want it to be dry. I don't want any of that old black nasty oil, because I'm a couple miles over my changing date. So it's always a good idea to change it every 3,000 or every 3 months. So, like, you know, whatever you can afford to do at the time, you know. But alrighty, that's not good enough yet. So well, as you can see, I changed my mind. We're not on the jack stands anymore, or the ramps. Whew. That's why I'm out of breath. Once you've drained all your oil, do not ever start your truck, because it will be empty of oil and you will burn it up. But the reasoning, I didn't think about this. I've never done it that way before, but I was going to try something new. But the reasoning I decided to let it down off the ramps is because all that oil space up there, I didn't think about it. When I drove it up the ramp, all that oil went forward, so all that old oil is still trapped up there. Now it's down here. So that's just a little tip. Like I said, this is my first video, so don't do what I did just then. Do it how I'm doing it now, on the ground. Get back to you. Alrighty. The oil's quit draining. I already put the plug back in. I just hand tighten it. I didn't torque it down yet. So when torquing this down, Don't try to be a He-Man, because you will break that sucker off or strip it out. Those little threads on that bolt are real thin and tiny, and they strip out a lot real easy. So I'll hand tighten it back. I've already hand tightened it back. So I'll tighten it up. Like I said, don't try to be a hero. You know, don't just hand tighten. Good and snug. See, I had a lot more in it, but I didn't do it because I've seen it happen. Very easy to do. So I'm going to show you how to take that filter off now. That's a very dirty job. This is the part I hate. So see if I can't get something to prop that camera up so you can see. Alright. Sometimes these suckers are hard to get off, and sometimes they're not. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I wouldn't suggest twisting it all the way off because the oil will come down until you get your oil pan thing in where you want it. Just right there. That's like this. There it was. See all that nasty junk on my hands? It's because I wasn't wearing a glove. But trying to get this to where you can see. Right in there. Guess you can see all that oil coming out of there. That takes about a half quart of oil. A little filter right there. And just let that drain all the way out. So you can see maybe better down here. It's kind of just raining oil. Make sure it goes into the pan. Pretty nasty. Like I said, it's been a few miles since this. I was probably 1,500 over. That's very bad on my part. I'm usually pretty good, but these hard times I haven't had the money. So it's pretty much all the way drained out. It's still kind of just drip, drip, drip every now and then. All right, I'll show you what I do. Here again we have the Wix filter. All pretty and new. Now, also what I've seen on YouTube, so I got a little oil on the camera, what I've seen on YouTube is people don't oil the ring on this. And they put a dry ring, see how it's dry right now? They put a dry ring on that metal surface. And I was taught a long time ago, you need to oil that seal up so you can tighten it up there so it's a little spongy and it has room to absorb and all that. I don't know. But that's what I was taught, so that's what I do. Trying to get this camera situated so I can show you what to do.